What challenges face archaeologists reconstructing Iron Age societies? Imagine trying to piece together a giant puzzle where many pieces are missing or broken. That's what archaeologists do when they work on Iron Age societies. It's a fascinating but tricky process. One big challenge is that most of the evidence doesn't survive well over thousands of years. Organic materials like wood, textiles, and food often decay, especially in wet or acidic soils. So, archaeologists usually find stone foundations or pottery, but the rest of the buildings or everyday items are gone. This means they have to make educated guesses about what life was really like. Another issue is that Iron Age societies weren't all the same. Different regions had their own styles of building, tools, and social rules. For example, a village in Northern Europe might look very different from one in the Middle East. Because of this, archaeologists can't just assume that what they find in one place applies everywhere. They need to focus on local evidence and sometimes compare it with better preserved sites or even ethnographic studies of modern or recent traditional societies. But these comparisons aren't perfect and can lead to mistakes or oversimplifications. Reconstructing buildings and settlements also involves experimental archaeology. Sometimes, archaeologists build replicas of Iron Age houses to see how they might have been constructed or used. These models help test ideas about construction techniques or how people lived. But these reconstructions are always guesses based on limited clues. The more detailed they are, the more they might be mistaken for exact facts, which can be misleading. Showing different possible reconstructions helps remind us that our picture of the past is often a best-guess scenario. Understanding the layers of soil and debris at a site is another challenge. Over time, layers get disturbed by farming, construction, or natural events. Sometimes, later activity destroys or mixes older layers, making it hard to tell what belongs to the Iron Age. Precise dating methods like radiocarbon analysis and studying pottery styles help, but they aren't always exact. Sometimes, dating results can be off by a few decades, which complicates understanding how societies changed over time. Getting accurate dates for Iron Age sites is also tough. The methods used, like radiocarbon dating, depend on the preservation of organic material. Sometimes, there isn't enough datable material, or the results are uncertain. This can make it hard to compare different sites or understand the timeline of cultural changes. In some regions, scholars still debate when the Iron Age started or ended, which adds to the difficulty of building a clear picture. Communicating what archaeologists find to the public is another hurdle. Museums and heritage sites often create displays or reconstructions to tell the story of Iron Age people. But these can sometimes oversimplify or suggest certainty where there is none. Ongoing research and community involvement, like participatory excavations, help keep interpretations fresh and accurate. They also make the past more engaging for everyone. Finally, studying the lives of all members of Iron Age societies is tough. Most evidence comes from durable objects used by elites or wealthier individuals. The everyday lives of women, children, or marginalized groups leave fewer traces. This creates a bias, making it seem like society was only about the powerful or the visible. Reconstructing the full picture requires careful interpretation and sometimes creative thinking to imagine the lives of those less represented in the archaeological record. All these challenges show that piecing together the story of Iron Age societies is like solving a complex puzzle. It takes patience, careful analysis, and sometimes a bit of educated guesswork. But each discovery helps us understand more about how people lived, worked, and changed during this fascinating period of prehistory and ancient civilizations.